Yeah, I'm doing this. Enki. Skipping the intro. Yes, I'm doing Enki. Lost Book of Enki. Skipping the intro. The words of Endubsar, master scribe, son of Eridu city, servant of the Lord Enki, great God. In the 7th year after the great calamity, in the 2nd month, on the 7th day, I was summoned by my master, the Lord Enki, great God, benevolent fashioner of mankind, omnipotent and merciful. I was among the remnants of Eridu, who had escaped the arid steep just as the evil wind was nearing the city. And I wandered off into the wilderness to seek withered twigs for firewood. And I looked up, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the south. There was a reddish brilliance about it, and it made no sound. And as it reached the ground, 4 straight feet spread out from its belly, and the brilliance disappeared. And I threw myself to the ground, and prostrated myself, for I knew that it was a divine vision. And when I lifted my eyes, there were 2 divine emissaries standing near me. And they had the faces of men, and their garments were sparkling like varnished brass. And they called me by name, and spoke to me, saying, "You are summoned by the great God, the Lord Enki. Fear not, for you are blessed, and we are here to take you aloft and carry you unto the retreat in the land of Magan, on the island amidst the river of Magan, where the sluices are." That's God with a lowercase g, by the way. And as they spoke, the whirlwind lifted itself as a fiery chariot and was gone. And they took me by my hand, each one grasping me by one hand. And they lifted me and carried me swiftly between the earth and the heavens as the eagle soars. And I could see the land and the waters and the plains and the mountains. And they let me down on the island at the gateway of the great God's abode. And the moment they let go of my hand, their brilliance, as I had never seen before, engulfed and overwhelmed me. And I collapsed on the ground as though voided of spirit of life. My life senses returned to me, as if I awakened from the deepest sleep by the sound of calling of my name. I was in some kind of enclosure. It was dark, but there was also an aura. Then my name was called again by the deepest of voices, and although I could hear it, I could not tell whence the voice came, nor could I see whoever it was that spoke. And I said, "Here I am." Then the voice said to me, "Endusbar, offspring of Adapa, I have chosen you to be my scribe, that you write down my words on the tablets." Endusbar spelled Endubsar. And all at once there appeared a glowing one part of the enclosure, and I saw a place arranged like a scribal workplace, a scribe's table and a scribe's stool, and there were finely shaped stones on the table. But I saw no clay tablet or containers of wet clay, and there lay upon the table only one stylus, and it glistened in the glowing as no reed stylus ever did. And the voice spoke again, saying, "Endubsar, son of Eridu city, my faithful servant, I am the Lord, your Lord Enki. I summon you to write down my words, for I am much distraught by what has befallen." I will only be adding commentary when I feel it's absolutely necessary. That's why I'm doing this. Mankind by the great calamity, it is my wish to record the true course of events to let gods of men alike know that my hands are clean. Not since the great deluge had such a calamity befallen the earth and the gods and the earthlings. But the great deluge was destined to happen, not so the great calamity. This one 7 years ago need not have happened. It could have been prevented. And I, Enki, did all I could to prevent it. Alas, I failed, and was it fate or was it destiny? In the future shall it be judged. For at the end of days, the day of judgment there shall be. And that day the earth shall quake, and the rivers shall change course, and there shall be darkness at noon, and the fire in the heavens, and the night, and the day of the returning celestial God will it be. And who shall survive, and who shall perish, who shall be rewarded, and who shall be punished? Gods and men alike on the day shall be discovered, for what shall come to pass, while that past shall be determined, and that was destined shall in a cycle be repented, and that was fated, and only by our hearts will occurring for good, or I shall for judgment come. The voice fell silent. Then the great Lord spoke up again, saying, "It was for this reason that I will tell the true account of the beginnings and the prior times and the olden times, for in the past and the future lies hidden. For 40 days and 40 nights shall I speak, and you were right. 40 shall be the count of the days and the nights of your task here, for 40 is my sacred number among the gods. 4. For 40 days and 40 nights you shall neither eat nor drink, only this once of bread and water you shall partake, and it shall sustain you for the duration of your task." And the voice paused, and all at once appeared glowing in another part of the enclosure, and I saw a table upon the plate of cup, and I rose up there too, and there was bread on the plate and water in the cup. And the voice of the great Enki Lord, and the voice of the great Lord Enki spoke up again, saying, "Undasar, eat the bread and drink the water, and be sustained for 40 days and 40 nights." And I did as directed, and therefore the voice directed me to sit myself on the scribal table, and glowing there intensified, I could see neither door nor aperture where I was, yet the glowing was as strong as the midday sun. And the voice said, "Undasar, the scribe, what do you see?" And I saw the glowing rain upon the table, and the stones, and the stylus. And I said, "I see the stones, the tablets, and their hue is blue, as pure as the sky. And I see the stylus as I've never seen before, its stern unlike any reed, and its tip shaped like an eagle's talon." And the voice said, "These are the tablets upon which you shall inscribe my words. From my wish they have been cut out of the finest lapis lazuli, each with 2 smooth faces provided. And the stylus you see is the God's handiwork, its handle made of electrum, and its tip of divine crystal." Okay, let's get to the stuff. "It shall firmly fit in your hand, and what you shall engrave with it shall be easy as marking upon wet clay." Wow. "In 2 columns you shall inscribe the front place. In columns you shall inscribe the back of each stone tablet. Do not deviate from my words and utterances." And there was a pausing, and I touched one of the stones, and the surfaces therefore felt like a smooth skin, soft to the touch. And I picked up the holy stylus, and I felt like a feather in my hand, and it felt like a feather in my hand. And then the great God Enki began to speak, and I began to write down his words exactly as he did. It says one, and one began to write down his words exactly as I did, as spoken. At times his voice was strong, at times almost a whisper, at times there was joy or pride in his voice, at times there was pain or agony, and as one of the tablets was inscribed on all its faces, I took another to continue. And when the final words were spoken, the great God paused, and I could hear a great sigh, and he said, "Undasar, my servant, 40 days and 40 nights you have faithfully recorded my words, your task is completed. Now take hold of another tablet, and on it you shall write your own attestation. And at the end thereof, as a witness mark, it will your seal, and take the tablet and put it together with the other tablets in the divine chest. For at the desired designated time, chosen one shall come hither, and they shall find the chest and the tablets, and they shall learn all that I have dictated to them." It does say chosen ones. "And that true account of the beginnings of the prior times in olden times, and the great calamity shall henceforth be known as the words of the Lord Enki. And it shall be a book of witnessing of the past, and a book of foretelling of the future. For the future in the past lies in the first things, shall also be in the last." Okay, one of the things. And there was a pause. I took the tablets and put them one by one in my correct order in the chest, and the chest was made of acacia wood and was inlaid with gold on the outside. And the voice of my Lord said, with a lowercase l, "Now close the chest, cover them fast in its lock," and I did as directed. And there was another pause, and my Lord Enki said, "And as for you, Undasar, with great God you have spoken. And though you have not seen me in my presence, you have, and therefore be blessed." It's almost out. And so I'm going to go fast. "And I spoken to the people, you shall be admonished from the righteous. New nations will be mighty, kingdoms shall rise and fall, the older God shall step aside." And there was a pause, master of the scribe, and then there was a silence, and the worlds were extinguished, and the spirit left me, and when I regained my senses, I was in the fields of Enki.